Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Inspired and Empowered Living TV show and podcast. And we are live Tuesday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern on Talk4TV, W4WN.com, and my YouTube channel. And are you ready to live an inspired and empowered life? Today, we will be continuing to talk about Emotional Intelligence 101, Part 3. And with emotional intelligence, it is the key and an essential ingredient to live an inspired and empowered life. Today, you'll discover 3 principles of emotional intelligence. How having emotional intelligence changes your life, and discover the number 1 mistake that would keep you from a life you love. Together, let's create a life you love. And as always, I love hearing your questions and comments in the chat. I'm your host, Nanci Deutsch, licensed clinical social worker, certified hypnotherapist, and intuitive breakthrough expert. I combine my counseling, coaching, and intuitive abilities to transform your life. This show is not a replacement for therapy or counseling. It is for educational purposes only. So, to review what emotional intelligence is, and we have JM. Hi, JM. And to review what emotional intelligence is it's the ability to process your feelings in a healthy way, so that you're not doing anything destructive or destructive behavior or dysfunctional. And a lot of what I'm talking about was in a blog from thinkpsych.com, the 5 components of emotional intelligence. And the last few shows we talked about, and this is from a blog by Aria Palmer in April 2021. And the first 3 components we had gotten to. The first one is self-awareness. And I'm always talking about how important self-awareness is. And we have Allie. Good morning, Allie. And JM, it's Jackie, finally on time for the live stream. Hey, Jackie, so glad you're joining us. Good to see you. And self-regulation, the capacity to manage one's behavior in various environments so that you're managing yourself and you avoid being overtaken by emotion and making poor choices. So we have self-awareness, self-regulation. The third one we got to last week was empathy. And empathy is the ability to evaluate and understand the experiences of another. When you are empathetic, You can appreciate the perspective of others, and even when it's different from your own. And we got a smiley face from Country Corners Gazette. Thank you. Glad to see you too, that you're here with us. So, before we get to the fourth aspect of emotional intelligence of the 5 components that Aria talked about, and we have Ingra, I don't know, hello. I don't know how to say your name, but welcome. It's good to see you all. So glad you're all here. So I want to go back to a question that I had gotten last week, and I want to answer that question. And the question is it okay to let people do their own thing, even if we think it is the wrong thing to do? So here's the thing. The bottom line is you can never make anyone do anything they don't want to do. And it's not your job. Now, you can support somebody if they're willing to be supported. So I had talked about last show about asking someone, are you willing to hear what I have to say, my concerns, or what I'm thinking about such and such? And if they're willing to hear you, then you can definitely speak your truth in a healthy way, so that you're not saying it in a way where you're blaming and shaming them. Because if you start youing them, oh, you shouldn't be doing that, and you should do that, and that kind of thing, they're going to shut down immediately and won't hear you. But if you say it in a healthy way, like, I'm concerned about you, and would you be willing to hear what I have to say? And if they say yes, then you could say, this behavior, I'm really concerned about this behavior that you're doing, or I'm concerned about you in this relationship. I've seen changes in you, and I'm wondering if I see your question, Misty. I'll get to you in shortly. And I'm wondering if, I really want to support you in maybe going for help or looking at this relationship. And if there's anything else that I can do, please let me know. That kind of thing would be a healthy way to support somebody. Now, here's the thing. If somebody is in addictive, destructive behavior and they're going, you may need to do an intervention, and it may not only be with you. If you're really concerned about somebody, if they're in an addiction and there's a lot of self-destruction going on, then you may need to get a professional to work with you, and also to do maybe other family or friends to do a group intervention. And obviously, if that's in a really serious destructive behavior. But for the most part, I would really support you in always asking if they're willing to hear you. So, and again, you want to be communicating. I'm concerned. I have feelings. I really care about you. You start with how much you care about them. And again, this has to be truth, okay? Has to be truth, because you don't really want to be saying phony things to the person that you care about. And you start with something that you care about, something you love, something you're really interested in them. And then you go to what your concerns are, if they're willing to hear you. And then I always like to end on a positive note. So that's kind of that in a nutshell, the sandwich. And so I know Misty had a question, so I'll get to Misty and Nikki's question, and then I'll get to the fourth Haven't forgotten. Misty said, should we stop and listen to things? So when you say, should we stop and listen to things, are you talking about, what things are you talking about? Are you talking about yourself? Or are you talking about them? Or are you talking about, like, I need more clarification on the question that you just asked. And so let me know, Misty, okay? And then Nikki says, but people need to know they can't help people who don't want to help themselves. Mickey, that is so true. So thank you for that, Mickey, because it is true. Listen, you cannot help somebody if they do not want to be helped. There's just, it's out of your control. And so there's only so much you can do to help somebody and support somebody. The rest is in their hands. If they're an adult, obviously if it's a child, we're talking about a different story, but I'm talking about adults and adults. So yes, that is true. Thank you, Mickey, for that. That is so important. Should we take the time to listen to others and see if we can help? So yes, you know what? Here's the thing. I really believe that we're all here to support each other. But like Mickey said, and it's really true, is you can't help somebody who doesn't want to be helped, who doesn't want to be supported. And you can only do that if they are willing to hear what you have to say. So if they're willing to hear you, I would definitely listen. You know, here's the thing. So often people jump to advice, or they jump to their opinions, or they jump thinking they know better than that other person. But the most important thing that you can do is ask. Ask them, how can I support you? How can I help you? If they're willing to be helped. And once they answer that question, again, there's this fine line between helping somebody and supporting them and then taking over and taking care of, so that you're ending up carrying them energetically and sometimes at your expense. And that's really important for you all to know. Healthy emotional intelligence is knowing your boundaries, knowing when you need to say no. And also at the same time, you have a big heart. And I know, Misty, you have a big heart and you want to help people, as I'm sure most of you are like that. Because I really believe most of you, as most people, really want to make a difference and really want to help people. And that's what's most important. And so, yes, you want to be able to listen to someone and be there for someone and ask them, how can I help you? Or how can I support you? Ask them. And if they don't know, then maybe you can brainstorm, or maybe you could support them in getting other help. Like, you can't save someone. And if someone needs a therapist or a counselor or a coach, then the best thing you can do would be support them in getting that help and reaching out for help. So, like I said, there's only so much you can do as a friend or a relative. So now number 4, hopefully that answered all of your questions. Okay. And if you have any more questions on the questions or the answers, let me know. Number 4 is decision making. Now, I'm always talking about decision making coming from the intuitive place. And I'll share with you my story. But when I used to be really indecisive, I was so indecisive. I would be calling my mother, I'd be calling friends. I would be calling or checking in with everybody else about my decision and what I should do because I didn't trust myself. I didn't feel worthy or deserving or confident at all. And part of that is because of my trauma. And then what started happening was I started doing my personal growth work. I started healing. I started growing. I started connecting more deeply to me, to the higher levels of me, like my higher self, the wise, unconditionally loving part of you, and my soul. And as I started making the deeper connections within me, I started getting, and all of a sudden I had this realization that my decisions needed to come from me. And that if I listened to my intuition, then I would be being guided towards the decision that was most right for me instead of trying to figure it out from my head or asking everybody else. And once I started making those intuitive decisions, I started calming down. And now my friends, everybody who knows me in my inner circle, they know that I either get the decision in the moment because I can feel it intuitively, or I say, I need some time to meditate on it or need some time to go inward and tune in to make that decision. And then once I've made the decision, once I've gotten that information, then I can proceed forward. But in order to do the decision making, it's about making healthy, identifying and making healthy choices and good decision. This is according to the article, the blog. Good decision making involves taking action while understanding and accepting the outcome. So here's the thing. When you're coming from that intuitive place and you are in order to get to the intuitive place of decision making, you need to be in that calm, relaxed state where you are calm and relaxed and that you are able to tune in to your decision based on your intuition. And also, in order to do the effective decision making, it's really important. You're going to need to clear your energy if you're attached to an outcome. Because if your ego is involved, most of the time, it can interfere with the best decision. Now, I also ask for the decision for my highest and greatest good. So I'm always asking, what's the decision that I need to make that would be for my highest and greatest good? So that is the question you can ask. And then it's about tuning in. Now, if you're feeling anxious, fearful, angry, if you're in grief, if you're feeling shame or guilt, you will not get an accurate answer. You need to do the clearing, and this is what I always talk about, is doing the clearing and clearing the emotions before you make the decision. And I want to share 3 principles, the 3 A's that I want to share with you about that will help you with that decision making. So the first A is awareness. Now, we talked about that because awareness is crucial. If you are being aware of what you're feeling, if you're not feeling peace and calm, it's not time to make that decision. Especially if it's a big decision. And if it's a bigger life decision, you may need more time to make that decision. Like if you want to move or change jobs or end a relationship or begin a relationship, all of that needs to be done from a clearer, calmer space. And so the first A, awareness, is being aware if there is trauma or emotions that are interfering with the decision that you want to make. So learning to become aware. And then also is understanding what is the issue that's coming up for you so that you can then work on clearing that issue. Now, I talk about the clearing, the daily clearing, and daily clearing consists of meditation. It can consist of journaling, a prayer, inspirational reading. And then there's the deeper clearing. And deeper clearing consists of all that and other tools like hypnosis or emotional freedom technique. And you can use self-hypnosis and you can also use emotional freedom technique to also help you clear for the day as well. And so it's really about understanding what's going on in those minds of yours. So I'll do my quick Psych 101. You have your conscious mind, the part of you that decided to join us. So thank you, conscious mind. I'm grateful that you're all here. And your subconscious mind, also your conscious mind is the mind that empowers you. And it empowers you to make conscious, healthy decisions. And when you're making decisions from that very conscious, clear place, you are empowered. And then you have your subconscious mind, the part of you from the moment you were conceived to present time has recorded everything. And it's all in your subconscious mind. And so it's about learning to understand what are those limiting beliefs and the emotions that you may not be in touch with. Now, you may be in touch with them, especially if you've been on the path and road of self-discovery for a long time. And if you're not, then it's your job or it's your work is to discover what's in the way of making a clear, healthy decision or helping you get to a peaceful, calm space. Remember, the emotions of your soul and your higher self are peace, love, joy, calm, all of that. When you're in that space, you've connected to, you're more aligned and you're connected with the higher aspects of self. Also, another way is going out in nature. Remember, a few weeks ago, you were in play mode, and some of you went out into nature and went to be in that energy because that can really support you in moving forward and being in a more peaceful space. And so the next A is acknowledging. It's acknowledging that you have had trauma or that you have something you need to work on, especially before a decision. If you have a decision around money or anything that has to do with finances, and you have a lot of financial stuff in your history, then you're going to want to clear out finance, limiting beliefs and emotions around money and finances. If you have a relationship issue that you need to make a decision on, you're going to want to start uncovering limiting beliefs and emotions around relationships. And if you have a health issue that you're dealing with, then you're going to want to understand. Now, sometimes with health issues, I will tell you that you need to get to the doctor before you try to figure things out. Sometimes the best action you can take is self-care and getting yourself to a doctor. Now, it all depends on what it is. And if you want to improve your health, and asking your intuition what you can do to keep moving forward. I really believe in complementary care, and complementary care is seeking medical attention and also alternative. Holistic, I'm very holistic, and it's a combo of all of that. So you want to acknowledge, and acknowledging where you're at. Acknowledging where you're at. And this is a biggie. If you're on the journey of growth, of personal growth, and you've been changing, even if you may not have changed as much as you would like, I'm putting it in quotes, air quotes, because a lot of times we're hardest on ourselves and think we should be changing faster or better or this. And the truth is, it's learning to acknowledge how far you've come. How far you've come and how far you have gotten to be where you are. And I'll get to the question shortly. I see it. And so it's really learning how to acknowledge even the baby steps. Baby steps are important because baby steps still get you out the door. Like if you can imagine, baby step, it's okay. So learning to acknowledge where you've been, what's going on, and how much you've grown, how far you've come. And I know a question came in, and before I answer the question, I want to share something with you that I'm really excited about. I have a masterclass coming up. It's called Freedom and Fulfillment: 3 Steps to Build Your Soul-Aligned Business. And this is for coaches, healers, therapists, entrepreneurs, anybody in the profession, licensed professionals. And really what we're going to be doing is helping you to grow or build or go to the next level of the business your soul is guiding you to do. And you will discover your soul's calling. It's learning how to ignite your vision and align your business with your passions, your purpose, and your values. Break free from limiting beliefs that keep you from feeling confident. And you can unleash your potential and empower yourself as we do mind shifting exercises and strategies. And you're going to learn how to tap into your intuition and empower yourself for success in your soul-aligned business. And then it's a 3-day virtual masterclass. And then you're going to get into action and learn how to turn your dreams into reality. to craft an actionable plan to start sharing your gifts with the world. So it's Tuesday, June 11th, Wednesday, June 12th, and Thursday, June 13th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And Rebel, please put the link to the masterclass in the chat. And it's inspired and empowered living.com/masterclass. MASTERCLASS. So it's the name of the show, and the name of the show.com/masterclass. Is this for those in the profession? This masterclass is for anyone, okay? You don't have to be in the profession. You don't have to be that professional. If you have something that you really want to bring into this world, some type of business that you know your soul is calling you, then join us. It's a free virtual masterclass. And I definitely would love to support you further in the masterclass. Rebel put the link in the chat, and it's on all the sites. The only one is on my YouTube channel. Allie, you'll have to put the link in. And I am excited to be sharing this masterclass with you. And if you have a soul calling and something that's calling you to bring into this world, then join us. It's for you. Again, for those of you who are listening to the podcast, it's the name of the show, Inspired and Empowered Living.com/masterclass. MASTERCLASS. And I look forward to seeing you there. Okay, so I know there was a question that came in. So let's get to that question. What if we are not sure? What if we are not sure where we are on at the journey? So if you're not sure where you are, it's really then start with awareness. Start with beginning to listen to yourself, taking time. Perhaps it's taking time in the morning. Perhaps it's taking time before you go to bed at night. And just listen. Listen to where you're at. Listen to what you're feeling. This is emotional intelligence. And the more that you allow yourself to tune in and listen to what you're feeling. And if you're not sure what you're feeling, then tune into your body. And I had talked about this, I believe, either last week or the week before, because your body can give you clues to what you're feeling. Let's say you have tightness in your jaw or heaviness on your shoulders. How many of you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders when you're feeling stressed or angry or frustrated? Now, I know those are different feelings, but it's learning to listen to your body. Maybe it's you start feeling teary-eyed, listening to your eyes. Maybe you need to have a good cry. Maybe you're sad and you just need to let it out. Or maybe you feel the butterflies in your stomach or the knot. A lot of my clients call it the knot in their stomach because they're feeling really anxious and fearful. So your body is giving you clues to what you're feeling. So it's learning to tune in is part of emotional intelligence. It's learning to know what it is your body, what it is you're feeling, and then being able to perhaps just allow yourself to feel it, let it flow through you. Because sometimes what I want you all to know is you don't always have to act on a feeling. Feelings are meant to very often move the energy. Maybe you want to exercise it out. Like if you notice that you're feeling antsy or jumpity or angry, I support you in maybe exercising it out, breathing it out, breath work, exercise. All of those are ways to release feelings, anger, fear. And then you can ask the question. The question is, like you have a question for your intuition. What's my next step? What can I do today for my highest and greatest good? What am I feeling? What am I feeling? Just ask yourself the question and start with just tuning in. And I keep saying just, it's not a just, it's big. Taking time to tune in is big, it's important, and it's powerful because that brings you into more awareness and self-awareness, which was number one on the emotional scale, emotional intelligence of the 5 components. So start from the beginning. If you don't know where you are and you don't know what's next, start from number 1. Breathe and tune in to you, to your body, to your feelings. That's where you can begin. And now the third A is acceptance and compassion. Because very often we can be really hard on ourselves. I know I am. I'm getting better. See, I'm acknowledging that I'm getting better. And it's learning to have acceptance and compassion for ourselves. And really acceptance and compassion of where you are on the journey. And if you're not and I'm doing air quotes again, if you're not where you think you should be, and you're shitting on yourself, it's working on learning, have more acceptance and compassion. Because what I'm going to tell you is this. When you have trauma or there are subconscious limiting beliefs or emotions that you may not be aware of, they can keep you from moving towards your goals and your dreams and your vision. And it's learning to uncover them and work through them and heal them on those deeper levels. And having that acceptance and compassion for self, that you are on the journey, that you are moving through it, whether it's at a snail's pace, in your opinion, and again, I'm using air quotes, or that you're taking those baby steps, or you're taking steps, and some of you may even be taking giant leaps. But wherever you are, it's taking the time to have acceptance and compassion for yourself. That to me is emotional intelligence, and that is self-love. And we all need to move towards more self-love. When you have true self-love, when it's coming from that place, that deep place, and that self-love doesn't mean boasting or chiming or like trying to prove how great you are. That's coming from ego. True self-love is having a confidence. It's acknowledging your strengths in a confident, quiet way. Or you can actually express it and share it with others. And just really acknowledging that. And now the final piece of the emotional intelligence from that blog is social skills, which means that you have the ability to maintain healthy connections with others, and that you are socially apt when they have and that you have the understanding of what it takes to create bonds with others and preserve them. So when you have that, that is one of the 5 components of emotional intelligence. And what I'm wondering if there's any last minute questions before we start coming to an end of the show. And really having healthy social skills. And in order to have healthy social skills, all of the prior things. Remember, when I've done shows on relationships. Healthy relationships begin with yourself. So I love it. Country Corners Gazette. Okay. Are you saying we need to be in touch with ourselves to be able to be in touch with others? And the answer is yes. The more that you are in touch, the more you know yourself, the more self-aware you are, the more you will have healthier relationships with others. And because as you become more and more emotionally intelligent, your ability to have healthy relationships. Remember, we're talking about healthier relationships where there's mutual trust and understanding and respect and love and being able to continue to have that starts mostly with yourself. Because when you can do that for you, or you have enough of a strength within you, then you can learn to do that with others in healthy ways. So yes, yes, yes. Healthy relationship starts with a healthier self. Now, I know that Misty came in with a question. And the question is do confidence and ego differ? How? And Misty, I want to really give that question because I really want to share more about that. It's a great question because it's really important to understand the difference. So I will start next week's show with your question. Okay, so stay tuned, everybody, for the answer for the question. Confidence and ego, how do they differ, or differ how? Okay, so I want to remind you all that we are live Tuesday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern on Talk4TV, W4WN.com, and my YouTube channel. You can register for my masterclass inspiredandempoweredliving.com/masterclass. Freedom and fulfillment, 3 steps to build your soul-aligned business. Join us. Definitely want to join us. And you can hear the podcast on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Pandora, Apple, Amazon, and more. And I want to wish you an inspired and empowered day and an inspired and empowered week. Have a great one, everybody. Bye for now.